roll. We are ready to go live today on Friday, February 21st. Welcome to the Multifamily Weekend Update. I'm Eric Sharpe, and I'm joined by my co-host, the amazing, wonderful
Justin Dilley.
Justin.
That's the one.
I'm excited. We're popping up live here on LinkedIn. We are live on YouTube. You can catch us every Friday right around 12:30.
Yeah.
We try to keep it casual. We try to keep it cool. We've Justin, we got a pretty big announcement this week.
Yeah. There's a lot of things happening. First of all, congratulations on the 25th episode of these things. We made it through travel and sick kids and I don't know what else, internet issues. We've made it.
And thank you to all of our followers, subscribers. We actually, we'll call this a mini one here. We'll call this like a mini win. We surpassed 500 followers on our LinkedIn page. We just set that up a couple months ago. So thank you to everyone who follows us, tunes in, subscribes. We appreciate you very much. Thank you.
All the people that engage, ask us to talk about them during this time or highlight some stories. Thanks for sending us messages and dropping comments because the things we might miss out that you guys share. So we appreciate it.
That's right. Well,
yeah.
There's
another celebration too, right? There's another group that launched not 25, it's double that. They're like a year in to doing what they're doing.
Yeah. This is the Multifamily Media Network.
They just celebrated their 1 year anniversary, which is actually about the same time that I started the Multifamily Weekend review, which was like the seed for all of this. But yeah, they're celebrating their 1 year anniversary. I know they have a big announcement coming up because I think they're kind of rebranding some of their stuff and they're going to launch some new stuff next week.
Yeah. I think everyone's kind of getting ready for the busy season here. We're all prepping and getting things out the door. So, I mean, our big announcement is that we are going to be collaborating very heavily with the Multifamily Media Network. We have been in cahoots with them for the last couple months, discussing, how we can continue to grow, our following, how we can continue to reach more incredible people in multifamily and prop tech and real estate. So this is definitely more than a collaboration. This is going to be a partnership for us.
Woo! So I did buy the coffee well before the partnership announcement, and it's really great coffee. If you haven't purchased it, you should. That's my own personal opinion. We're not paid to talk about the coffee, but I do like it. And so next week on our 26th episode, we will officially be powered by the Multifamily Media Network, and they're going to join us, right, Eric?
That's right. Yeah. You'll start to see some changes happening. We do have a couple more announcements in store as the weeks go by. We're going to be pushing out additional ways to follow us. So look out for a newsletter. That's one of the big ones that we're going to be publishing soon. We'll get, happy to have everyone join our newsletter just to sort of recap everything that we're up to. Get a nice way to recap it in text form in your email box.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, a lot of stuff happened, and so let's jump in.
Yeah. Let's dig into it. The first, LA is still going through a lot of issues, right? Just the recovery phase of all of these fires, insurance companies, rent gouging, and LA County has actually raised their penalties for rent gouging because apparently their original penalties were not enough. So they're actually raising them up to $50,000 per violation and taking legal action against landlords who are using rent setting algorithms. So there's that keyword, ding, ding, ding.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's big news. These stories probably will not go away. The more we rely or use or leverage, if you want to use that word, technology and AI for these kind of things, the more this stuff will be investigated and questioned. So, I was just having a conversation in my personal work about kind of the screening and the document fraud, and there's all this like the ability to like research aliases. All of that's going to come into play a lot more. That we're going to have more of these conversations, more of these lawsuits, potential lawsuits, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I've seen examples of one-offs where people were gouging, on an investment property that they had, right? And I think in general, this is mostly there to ward off those individuals from doing massive price gouging, right? If your home was listed for rent for $3,000, $4,000 a month, and all of a sudden it goes up to $8, $9, $10,000 a month. I mean, that's clear cut price gouging. Same thing happens anytime there's a storm that comes through, like independent gasoline, stores will price gouge their gas, right? They'll sometimes double the price.
Yeah.
So there's, laws and regulations in place for things like this. So obviously LA County saw the writing on the wall there and said, yeah, this can't fly.
Right. So like a sharp turn from greed will just go right into love. There was a lot of love, a lot of people sharing gratitude for many things. And thank you to everybody that participated in our Valentine's words of encouragement for the industry. I've heard a lot of great feedback from people that participated, that just felt great about reading those things. But in light of that, there's still love happening. A lot of people are going out and making human connections. I know you saw something, Eric, this week, right? About Zuma and their bus. They're out there making human connections. But there was a funny story, right?
Yeah, the Winnebago. Yeah. Right. It's Shiv. I think Shiv is definitely going through what I went through when I had my first company. I don't know what number company this is for Shiv, but literally CEOs are constantly balancing things, right? And he is learning literally what it's like to shovel shit. So he had a post.
Literally,
and I appreciate him doing this. So, Chip talked about how, they're crisscrossing the United States. Zuma's doing these great interviews, and they, finished a dinner meeting, had a great get together, and then found out, I don't know how they found out, but they realized that they actually needed to extract the human excretions.
Yeah, it's the fun side of that travel that you don't get to hear about, right? When rockers, famous folk travel in those tour buses, that is something that needs to happen, and Shiv shared a little bit of that side of it, which is, we all have those tasks we have to deal with in all of our, whether we found a company, whether we own a particular region or have a client, we often have to shovel some shit.
They literally had to empty out the sewage out of the Winnebago, right? So that's kind of, that's a part of life. That's the underbelly of, making a conscious choice, right? To, wrap a bus, do all the fun stuff, right? That's fun. But this is the behind the scenes. I really appreciate Shiv showing the behind the scenes aspect. That's pretty awesome of him. It's a little outlandish, but I think that's, what needs to be said.
Yeah. And unlike, Waldo or Carmen Sandiego or anything like that, you can know where Shiv and the Zuma team are. They created this great kind of website where you can kind of follow along and actually see where their next stop is or where they're at. I think they're heading back west to the Multifamily Media Summit at some point soon, depending on where else they're going. I haven't been following too closely other than LinkedIn, but it's a really cool website if you want to check it out.
Awesome.
So a lot of human stuff. There's other people, out there and about. I hate to say that it's trending, but, our industry sometimes goes through this pendulum thing, and now people are kind of going back to basics and saying, hey, conferences are great, but I want to create my own thing. I want to have these small dinners. I want to have these small conferences. I want to have these small meetings. And so people are partnering with, different partners, different, owner operators, different vendors, and creating, just spaces to discuss, to grow, to learn, and to create opportunities for everyone, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think this is really smart. I mean, basically you're taking, maybe you're taking some budget from going to an event, the after parties, right? We all end up spending 10, 20, 30, 40 grand sometimes on hosting parties at things like Apartmentalize or Optech. But if you were to take from that budget and maybe spread it across 4 get-togethers, maybe in cities that you're trying to grow into, I think that's pretty smart for a lot of these vendors who are trying to capture more attention, right? And then you bring in various partners and co-opetition, like folks that you work well with. This is starting to grow. I think it's a good thing inside of our industry.
Yeah, definitely. So, there, if you do things and you want to talk about them, reach out to us. We'd love to hear about it. So if you have something coming up or you're planning something, let us know, because we're going to keep watching. I think more of these will probably be on the rise. The other kind of big thing that trended on LinkedIn this week was the opposite of human connection. Was AI. There was a lot of different folks talking about AI, AI webinars, questions about AI, if people are leveraging it well in asset management or investing, a webinar for using AI practically for a property manager. I mean, I think AI is so broad that it gets lumped in our industry as centralized operations, right? Like AI centralize the way you curate information for fraud or central. But there's so many things that it does, and so it's an exciting time to see people asking questions and putting out information.
Yeah, and I'm sure AI was talked about a lot as well inside of Demo Day. So
for sure, yeah.
The multifamily Demo Day was this week. If you did miss it, you can always go ahead and I think you can get a recap of it. But this is like one of the events, I think, anyone who's inside of technology or adoption, whether you're on the supplier or, supplier side or the PM side, this is just one of those events that are really fun. I think they're still happening twice a year. I'll have to check with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've done them in the past. Very valuable. I think from the attendee side, right? It's great to kind of hop on, see a product, see multiple products, kind of, dedicate a day of a chunk of your time to look through stuff. It's a different kind of learning, right? You go to trade shows, you don't really get to see demos. You set up meetings, sometimes you don't get to see demos either because you're having a conversation. There's a lot of discovery. There's a lot of discussion. So demo is kind of, getting a broad stroke of a product and then like being able to kind of, self kind of validate for yourself if, hey, I want to learn more about this. So it's a very cool idea.
Yeah. And AI was definitely a big topic, of course.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
It is just taking over a lot of what we're doing now. So, yeah. Oh. Well done, Brent. And he broke some records as well. So congratulations. They broke records on their attendance this year.
Oh, that's amazing. And, speaking of AI, so, I don't typically use AI for LinkedIn other than research or sometimes as like a power thesaurus or a power alliteration tool. Like if I'm stuck on certain words, like I'll have it quickly help me push me in that direction. I did use AI for a post talking about our 25th episode. And I'll talk about how I did it. So I went to the Multifamily Weekend update page on LinkedIn. I expanded it constantly, all the way down so that I could get as much content as I could see from the beginning of when we started these things. I printed it out into a PDF so that you could have all of it. Then I uploaded it into AI and asked it to find 25 interesting facts or topics or themes that we could put into list form. And that's how I got that list that I posted the other day.
That is an interesting way to do it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say another use. It's I could probably remember 25 things. I could remember us talking about certain things and come up with that list. But I just wanted to see what it would kind of highlight or generate.
Well done. I am proud of your AI usage. That's pretty
Thank,
cool.
thank you.
So what else we got? We this week is gonna be this week kind of starts, you know, a heavy content week for us. We've got what we've got. Retcon is coming up, and
Yeah, there's
you
some
know he
events. RentCon is coming up.
yeah
There is some interface conferences, and folks are still talking about apartmentalize, like who's speaking, at apartmentalize. There, we're still getting some of that. There's regional trade shows and events coming up. I know Minnesota Housing Association is on that. It's my wife and my dog that got into camera right there. That's fun. We're getting a new puppy this weekend, so that's news in my house.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, congratulations on getting the new puppy.
thank you, thank you. Any other events that you've seen that's coming up?
There's some built world stuff more on the construction side. I think we're going to likely do some coverage on construction and starts coming up here. I think there's Jay Parsons, of course, brings in lots of interesting data with the gap, if you will, of construction starts versus apartments actually leasing up. They're I think a lot of REITs right now are starting to take the gamble and they
Mm-hmm.
are starting construction, but we're still seeing some of the traditional developers like taking a back seat and just seeing how things are going to go. I think the current administration, of course, things are still kind of up in the air. The new HUD secretary is getting his,
Mm-hmm.
just dipping his toes back into the water here, but we'll likely see some news there in the coming, months, hopefully before the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, so this just in for real. I do have an announcement that I just got, and it makes me think, Eric, we kind of need, if we're going to have like a news desk, we probably need a way for people to do this just in general, like during this time. I don't know if they might not even be watching live, but we should have a repository so that people can send messages and we can just pull them out of the bucket. I got something just now on LinkedIn from Megan Hoey, I think is how you pronounce her name.
Yeah.
She is in marketing over at Revise, and they just wanted to remind the industry that they're co-hosting OpTech 365 next week. And
Yes.
that's with Retzi at OpTech. Just to give a little pitch of what they're doing, it's a series of virtual category workshops. It's owner operator led with select product showcases. Next week's workshop on February 26th features someone from EQR, someone from RKW, and also Laura Zaker to dig into the marketer pain points. So check them out. There's way more details than what I just kind of rattled off, but wanted to say this just in, and I got to say it. So
That's
that
awesome.
works.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the comments
Mm-hmm.
for sure here, and I'll see if I can't snag that from Revise. Yeah, Revise has been doing lots of content as of recent.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, and
they're
they have a great newsletter that I don't always make it through,
sure
but it's comes
it's specific. Yeah,
Thursdays.
they're
Mm-hmm.
specifically working with OpTech, which is awesome.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah, those are the big ones from LinkedIn this week. I think people are still. I think it's a busy year. I think it's going to be a busy year. January and February. Traditionally, sometimes it's hard to kind of get going. I found in the past, but there's just so much happening that personally I'm having. I'm working. I'm working hard to stay on top of everything. Yeah.
This is true. I am going to post Revise's information here in the chat for anyone who wants to check it out. I mean, this is basically some of their upcoming. I think it's technically a workshop, right?
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So I went ahead and just posted that here in the chat. Lots of amazing jobs are still available. On the property management side, tons of jobs available. You can actually check out Revise's, um, community for that and see jobs
Mm-hmm.
available. And there's also, if you're more on the supplier side, there's a really good resource from the founders of the PropTech Angel Group, Matt Knight, and the rest
Mhm.
of his awesome gang that put together something for FIRE. Um, so FIRE is basically just the foundation for helping, real estate technology companies. So it's a nonprofit that helps them grow, and they put together a really awesome resource for anyone who's looking for a job on the supplier side.
Right. Yeah. Um, well, yeah, a lot of opportunities out there, potential opportunities, and just a reminder that if you need a break, take a break. Whether it's this weekend, whether it's a quarter, um, you know, pausing is always a good thing.
This is true.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with taking a pause. I know folks are still reeling from the
Mhm.
last couple of weeks of layoffs, but we hope to see lots of traction here.
Yeah.
There's lots of investment going on right now in the prop tech side, so things are hopefully heating up. So
Yep.
keep the faith, brush up on the resume, brush up on, you know, going after interviews, and definitely network.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Well, this is an easy breezy Friday, but I like it. So next week, a little more conversation. We're bringing the folks from Multifamily Media Network in, and we might be so excited to do this broadcast that we might do it just a bit earlier,
Yeah,
just a little bit earlier. Well, I don't know yet. I don't know what. Yeah, we'll figure it out, but maybe just a little earlier because it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, this is
Cool.
perfect. All right, everyone. Have a great week. Thanks so much for watching. All right. I am clicking off there and I'm clicking.